Is the silver short squeeze working? So there's a number of pieces of evidence that proves that the silver short squeeze is indeed starting to work. So recently, the Sprott Physical Silver Trust announced that it now has over $4 billion in physical silver under management. That is an enormous sum. Over 144 million ounces of physical silver, 53 million ounces of physical silver have been added just in 2021. A lot of it can be attributed to the marketing campaign, the awareness campaign of the silver short squeeze. And there's a chart on the right-hand side of your screen showing that the Sprott Physical Silver Trust is adding an enormous amount of ounces of physical silver, while COMEX and the SLV is getting a reduction compared to the Sprott Physical Silver Trust. So the awareness campaign is indeed working. It's taken some time. This is something that people like me who have been covering gold and silver for a very, very long time, over a decade, have been hoping would eventually come to fruition. So this awareness campaign that started in the last 4 or 5 months has indeed helped, according to the chart on the right. The other piece of news that is showing that the silver short squeeze is working, that there is tightness in the silver market, especially for large orders, is from the US Mint's official Facebook page. They admitted on their official Facebook page, I have the screenshot there on your screen, that there is a global silver shortage. The phrase global silver shortage is in their official announcement from the last couple days. So there you have it. You have a number of pieces of evidence that this awareness campaign, which is focusing on physical metal, accumulating ounces, and the Sprott Physical Silver Trust, staying away from silver futures contracts, staying away from the SLV, is indeed starting to help, and it is causing big tightness in the silver market. For those of us stackers who do buy either silver coins or silver bars, we know that the paper price of silver is very, very different than actually getting your hands on an ounce of silver. The paper price of silver is manipulated and is totally dislocated from the premiums we pay even on 10-ounce silver bars. The premiums are sky high on things like American Silver Eagles, but the premiums are even high now on 10-ounce silver bars, whereas in the past years ago, you could get close to spot prices by buying 10-ounce silver bars or larger silver bars. The larger silver bars you bought, the closer to spot price you could get in the past. Right now, though, it looks like a lot of people who are stacking physical silver have already started the switch, and instead of buying as many American Silver Eagles or other types of beautiful coins, they're buying bars instead. So in the not too distant future, probably in the next month or two, we should see silver prices well over $30, regardless of paper price manipulation, if there continues to be demand for physical and also shortages on the supply side. And with this acknowledgement of shortages on the supply side, I think it adds more credence that the silver short squeeze has indeed started to work. So what do you think? I'm pretty surprised that the US Mint actually admitted this on their Facebook page. Now remember, in the last month or so, we had a former US Mint director admit in a Kitco interview, and I covered this in another video, that there was a shortage and problems with the paper prices and manipulation. So I thought that was rare. But it's even more rare for someone in government, at a government agency, to actually admit this while they're still working there. Normally here in DC, people like being more candid, more frank, admitting about waste, fraud, corruption, and abuse after they've already left DC, which is the case with what happened with the former US Mint director. But now we have more honesty from the US Mint, which I think is pretty rare. And I think we're starting to see that too from some of the other sovereign mints outside the US and also the Perth Mint. Finally, if you like this content and want to help keep content like this free so it doesn't all end up behind a paywall, please chip in $5 a month and become one of my patrons. There is over 150 articles, charts, and audio podcasts behind the paywall, including 7 new articles in the last 4 or so weeks. A lot of in-depth content, research, information, analysis, and financial education on many interesting topics, global macro, companies, and industries. And if you don't like it, you can always just cancel. Only $5 a month. I think it's one of the best deals out there. So please chip in. Google AdWords revenues that run on these videos do not pay my bills. My patrons pay my bills. So thank you very much for listening. Please like and subscribe. And I think there's going to be a lot more exciting silver news coming, because I don't see any signs yet of demand for physical silver slowing down. In fact, if the silver price goes above $30 an ounce, the paper spot price goes above $30 an ounce, we may actually see an increase in demand for physical silver from the general public.